But this brother, Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, the time has come for the world to recognize this is one of the top 5 fighters on the planet.
Who do you want to see him fight?
Shakur Stevenson, the fabulous boxer. The punch, I don't think he can take a punch from Gervonta Davis. I don't see it. Gervonta Davis might be the best in the world. He can punch. He's a knockout artist. He can box. He's not given enough credit for it, okay? He closes. He finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? And by the way, he is an elite boxer.
Stephen A. Smith went all in on Shakur Stevenson, mocking him for not signing the contract to fight Gervonta "Tank" Davis. According to Smith, Shakur has no chance against Tank, insisting Davis is the more dangerous, explosive fighter and deserves way more respect in the boxing world.
However, from legitimate fight purposes, Gervonta Davis, to me, is the #1 attraction in boxing. He's the #1 attraction in boxing. He will finish you. He will close. And this brother comes, and he's one of those guys. They call him, the mini Mike, as a Mike Tyson. Yeah. He's willing to take a punch to give it now. Yeah. And I haven't seen him hurt. He got bruised. Yeah. He might have bruises, but I ain't seen nobody wobble him. I ain't seen anybody hurt.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has continued taking shots at Shakur Stevenson, labeling him a boring defensive boxer with little punching power. Tank claims Shakur can't hurt opponents and fights in a style fans don't enjoy watching. According to Davis, Stevenson's approach lacks excitement, fails to entertain audiences, and isn't the type of boxing that creates major hype.
135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, of course he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right, so why people even talk like he the best at, he didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 126.30 or nothing.
He is good.
Okay. How can you, all that's just okay.
Rolly Romero also jumped into the debate, saying Shakur Stevenson wouldn't stand a chance against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Romero argued that Shakur still hasn't defeated any truly elite or high-profile opponents, claiming his resume lacks the signature wins needed to prove he can compete at Tank's level. He also praised Davis as the fighter with the strongest resume in the entire 135-pound division.
Who has a better resume than Tank at 135?
Loma.
Loma retired. Active.
Shakur before he moved.
Shakur has a better resume.
At 130.
Who has Shakur beat?
But who's Tank really like? Other than that,
everyone Tank's beat became world champion. So tell me, that electrician dude was a good win at 35.
Electrician? What are you on about?
Who he beat? Name me 3 Shakur opponents.
I think Shakur, bro. But when you look at Tank, all right. All right. Tell me.
Oscar Valdez, that had his jaw broken in 2018, that's been burnt out and off the juice for a while now.
So who's Tank's best win? Who's Tank's best win?
There's plenty of them.
Who's Tank's best win?
We all became world champion after.
Fair enough, son.
Rolly Romero also spoke about Gervonta "Tank" Davis' recent struggles, reminding fans that people on the outside rarely know the full story behind someone's situation. Romero showed support for Tank, saying everyone faces difficult moments and expressing hope that Davis returns soon to continue doing what he does best inside the ring.
From me, it's sad, but Gervonta "Tank" Davis can't stay out of trouble. I know he's been bailed out, but just your thoughts on the whole thing?
Just because his stuff went public, everyone gone into some trouble, you know? Just, I mean, like I said, when you're the big fish, you know, all you gotta do is just keep to yourself, man, in reality. But like I said, at the end of it, we don't know what truly happened or any of that stuff. They could all say whatever, you know, there's 2 sides to every single story.
We'll see him return?
Yeah, I want to see Gervonta. Wait, he's one of the most entertaining fighters in boxing.
Is he still as good as, I mean, if you look at the resume, no win in 18 months, etc., is he still as good? Can he still hang?
He fought once in 18 months.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, dude,
I'm saying activity's important in this game.
Okay, well, I mean, he tried to fight, but I mean, things happen, you know?
Getting a straight pull, Rolly.
The what?
Getting a straight pull, though.
Yeah, but so what, man? So what, man?
You part of the Tank fan club, that's fair.
What?
You're in the Tank fan club.
Bruh, I like Tank, bruh. Tank's a great fighter, bruh. Dude, they all want to talk bad about Tank, but man, dude, then everyone Tank beat ended up becoming world champion later.
Mike Tyson gave his strong opinion on the matchup, claiming Gervonta "Tank" Davis is the only fighter capable of defeating Shakur Stevenson. Tyson praised Tank's explosive punching power, sharp timing, and ruthless killer instinct, believing those qualities could eventually crack through Shakur's slick defensive style.
Great fighter. He is a great fighter. You know, especially when he's serious about it. You know, I don't know if he's as serious as he used to be. When he was serious, he was a hell of a fighter. And nobody came close. He's the only one I gave a chance against Shakur and that guy, Shawn Davis. They're scary fighters too. They're sophisticated. The other guys are sophisticated and mean, but Tank is just a force of nature. You know, you just gotta give him the credit. You know, even though he's talking stuff, he's the man. Shakur and Tank, oh God, I don't even. It's gonna be interesting because if Shakur handles this guy like he did Lopez, I was in hell with him. I was in hell with Shakur there. If he just handles this guy like he did, I was in hell with him. Somebody gotta give him a fight though, but you gotta be very sophisticated to know how to fight. This is when I know you lost against Shakur. This is when I know you lost. You see when he does this stuff? Once you start doing this stuff and looking at him, oh, it's over.
Mike Tyson also described a potential showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta "Tank" Davis as a fight fans would love to watch. Tyson explained that Shakur doesn't need knockout power to beat Tank, believing his elite boxing skills, movement, and ability to score points could be enough to win. At the same time, Tyson said Davis is exactly the kind of dangerous opponent who would force Shakur to perform at the absolute highest level of his career.
Who would win out of Shakur and Gervonta?
Yeah, Gervonta Davis?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. I like to go with Tank because of the, everyone's gonna go with Tank, but it would be a very interesting fight.
How could, for us that are not boxing analysts, how could Shakur beat him if he can't hurt him? That would be my question.
Listen, you don't have to hurt him, you just have to outscore him. Shakur takes a good shot though. He's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in, because he's so superior. And it's boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat.
So when the speed picks up and the aggression starts,
to bring out the best in Shakur, you gotta pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
Stephen A. Smith said he wants Gervonta "Tank" Davis to move up to the 140-pound division and face even bigger challenges. He brought up potential matchups against fighters like Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson, arguing that Tank has the skill and star power to dominate the division. Smith also emphasized that Davis should focus on legacy-defining fights against elite-level competition to cement his place among boxing's greats.
Of the mindset that Tank is so much stronger than people realize, so much more powerful of a puncher than people realize. I want to see him up at the 140-pound limit. Don't make a Ryan Garcia come down to 135. Don't have the hydration clause in there. Yeah. Don't avoid, and he's not avoiding anybody. But I'd also like to see him against a Teofimo Lopez.
Eddie Hearn believes Shakur Stevenson is one of the most underrated fighters in boxing today. According to Hearn, many fans fail to appreciate Shakur's greatness because he relies on skill, defense, timing, and ring IQ rather than highlight reel knockouts. He explained that Stevenson's control of distance, sharp technique, and overall boxing intelligence make him an incredibly difficult opponent for anyone at the elite level.
I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound, top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Shakur Stevenson as arguably the best fighter across the 135 to 140-pound divisions, pointing to his elite footwork, defensive mastery, and high-level technique. He said Stevenson's skill set makes him extremely difficult to beat, adding that fighters who don't understand movement and ring IQ will struggle badly against him.
People don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You got to cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't want to fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not gonna engage until he wants to engage. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
not right now,
the ratings, you gotta be able to engage when they need you to engage. You can't, and you're gonna become bored. So he's not bored unless you don't understand boxing.
Right.
You understand boxing, he's not bored.
With rising global tensions and shifting priorities in boxing, Turki Alalshik appears to be focusing more on major high-profile events, especially those involving British stars like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. This shift in direction could have a major impact on fighters like Shakur Stevenson, who may no longer have the luxury of multiple tune-up fights before stepping into elite-level competition.
CLOWNS was getting paid by Turki Alalshik and the Saudis, and then he switched over to Paramount Plus, right? And acted like he was going to do both at the same time. Well, with the war in Iran, he can't do either. So that means both of them are up in the air. Now, what does that mean for real fighters? It's okay for real fighters. It's going to work out for just fine for Shakur Stevenson. It's going to work out just fine for guys like Devin Haney, and provided Devin doesn't go over there to Zuffa. It's going to turn out fine for those guys, as long as they can actually win the fights that they get.
Instead, these fighters will likely be pushed straight into tougher matchups where they must prove themselves immediately. In the past, stars like Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford built toward mega fights over several bouts. But that strategy may no longer be viable.
Because they're going to have to actually fight these tough fights, and they're not going to be able to have 5-6 setup fights before you get to it. Because that's the game that I believe Shakur was playing. Because that's the game that Floyd Mayweather played. That's the game that Terence Crawford played, where they would take 3, 4, 5 fights before the actual big fight that people are talking about took place. That's what happened with Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. That happened with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Some people, it was both Errol and Terence that did it. No, whatever. Still, both guys did it, then both guys took several fights before that took place, right? Big fights with money, good money in them. So Shakur now can't do that. Cannot do that. Number one, Matchroom Boxing, who's really running DAZN, let's be honest. Matchroom Boxing, which runs DAZN, because Matchroom actually is owned. Matchroom USA is actually owned in part by DAZN and by Sella, who is the Turkey people. They're going to be putting their resources and their efforts into British fighters. The Tyson Fury fight that they want to make with Anthony Joshua, if they can find some way to get that done. That's what they're going to be looking for. They're not going to be looking at the fighters that they had on undercards. It's just that simple. Shakur Stevenson was fighting on undercards for these guys. Devin Haney is fighting on undercards for these guys, right? Keyshawn Davis fighting on undercards for these guys. Pretty much everybody that was at Top Rank fighting on undercards for these guys. They're not going to prioritize the undercard fight.
Now, if Shakur wants the biggest fights and paydays, he will have to take them sooner and on fairer terms, without long delays or drawn-out build-up.
But at the end of the day, the money is there for Shakur. But the money's going to be with Shakur. He's going to have to tuck his pride. James Prince is going to have to tuck his pride and go over there to the PBC, call Steven Espinoza if Al's not there anymore, and get this fight made. You know, and Shakur is somebody that could win the fight. The thing is that is going to be prohibited is that they're not going to allow Shakur to make 4 and 5, 6 different fights and get $1 million, $5 million each, run up $30 million, and then at the end, let's go for the big one. If you're going to get the big one, you're going to get the big one at a price that is a reasonable price, and then if you can win the fight, after that you become the big dog, right? Because you're the ones with the fans. The reason that Gervonta is the fan right now is because he's got the fan. Is the man right now is because he's got the fan.
Many experts believe the fight hasn't happened yet, mainly because of the budget and financial structure behind major boxing events. Big fights only get made when the money split and promotional terms work for both sides. Promoters, networks, and fighters all have to agree on a deal that guarantees strong revenue. That's why finances play the biggest role in making blockbuster matchups. If the numbers don't satisfy both camps, the fight doesn't move forward, no matter how much demand or hype there is around the fighters.
The boxing business, you get fighters, they go back and forth on Twitter, and they be like, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. You gotta put the business in between that, because fighters will be fighting all the time just because they're arguing back and forth. But the business gotta make sense. So it's always about the bag. So that's why I feel like Turk Al-Sheikh come in, because he'll say, hey, here go the money, get these fights to happen. That's why I can't believe that Bud have to move up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, and David Benavidez is right there at 168 comfortably. That's why the business of boxing took over. But I respect Shakur for actually saying he want the fight. Where is he at in the 6 fight deal? And where is he at in the 6 fight deal? Is his 3rd fight or something like that with Tank?
It's a good question.
It's early. It might be 2 or 3 fights in.
You sure you're not freestyling?
Shakur Stevenson said he is fully confident he will win the fight and believes it would be a true best versus best matchup. He explained that when 2 elite fighters meet, the real objective is to prove who is superior in skill, timing, and ring IQ. Stevenson added that he welcomes the challenge and sees it as a defining moment in his career, where top-level talent is tested against the very best opposition. He also noted that both fighters operating at the highest level is exactly what makes the matchup exciting for fans, and he is ready to show why he considers himself among boxing's elite.
At the end of the day, you and Tank is a fight that should happen. It absolutely should happen, and I believe it will. I mean, you guys are both in charge of your career. I think it's a good style matchup. Like you said, the networks are out of the way. The promoters are out of the way. He's flexible, you're flexible. I don't see why it wouldn't happen.
It's the best versus the best.
Absolutely right.
Let's make the best fight in boxing.
And when you guys meet, how does that fight play out?
I ain't gonna give you no game.
You think I'm gonna jump on the phone with Tank right after?
No, I would tell you this. I'm gonna come out victorious.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I stand by.
Okay. That's what you gotta say. You're supposed to say that.
No,
right?
It ain't what I'm supposed to say. It's what I know.
Shawn Porter believes that although Gervonta Davis possesses devastating knockout power, simply relying on power alone would not be enough to defeat Shakur Stevenson. Porter compared the potential matchup to the battles between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, where elite boxing skills, defense, and ring control were able to neutralize dangerous punching power. According to Porter, Stevenson's movement, timing, defensive awareness, and ring IQ make him one of the hardest fighters to hit cleanly, forcing opponents to think carefully instead of relying on aggression alone. While Tank's explosiveness always makes him a threat, Porter feels Stevenson's technical ability could help him dictate the pace, win rounds consistently, and frustrate power punchers over a full 12-round fight. In his opinion, discipline, strategy, and precision often matter more in elite matchups than one-shot knockout power, which is why he believes Stevenson has a legitimate chance to outbox even the most dangerous punchers in boxing.
When he come across Shakur Stevenson, I'm going to say it here on the front page, and Tank, I love you, brother, and still would love to talk to you.
100.
But when you get in there with Shakur, it's going to remind me of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because what you gonna do when you come across a motherfucker you can't knock out? Yeah. Only thing you gonna do is just get more frustrated.
That's a terrible analogy.
I'm just saying.
Only reason why I'm saying it's a terrible analogy is because Tank Davis. Remember, you've heard Coach Cal say this all the time. He says it's the same thing, and I know exactly what he means. We just waiting on somebody to pull it out of him. You ever hear him say that?
Yeah, yeah.
We got so it's just we ain't been able to show it because ain't nobody been able to pull it out of him. We looking forward to the big fights. We looking forward to the big matchups because those are the kind of people that's gonna pull it out of him. So with a fight with Shakur, you're gonna see this boxing style that you don't usually get from Tank.
Shakur Stevenson said a potential fight between him and Gervonta Davis is bigger than boxing itself, pointing to the history, rivalry, and build-up surrounding the matchup. He explained that it's difficult to even fully talk about it because, in his view, the fight feels inevitable at this stage. Stevenson believes both fighters are the best in the division and elite talents who naturally have to meet inside the ring. He suggested that fights of this magnitude only fail to happen if one fighter isn't truly operating at that level or faces a major setback. He also broke down Davis's strengths, acknowledging his knockout power but stressing that he is more than just a puncher. Stevenson described him as strategic, experienced, and patient, someone who breaks opponents down over time rather than relying on a single shot.
Kind of bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because like the history and like everything that like went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we got to fight. So at the end of the day,
you feel that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm the best, he the best. So you got two guys that's the best. How can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take a L. But I think like with both of us, we both fighters that's really good fighters and on that level.
From a boxing standpoint, what makes Tank Tank? We see the power, but it's got to be more than that.
Nah, he's strategic. He's setting guys up. He's been boxing since a little kid, just like I've been boxing since a little kid. And you can tell like with the experience. Even with his last fight with Frank Martin, you can see Frank Martin was more so an amateur. Like the experience he got is not on the level of like Tank. And he just took off with experience. He let him waste his energy, gassed him out, and then round 8, okay, it's time to go home.
When would you like to see that fight happen?
Whenever. I think that I'm ready for it, he's ready for it, we both in our primes. It can happen next, it can happen next year, it can happen whenever he say, let's...
Steven Espinoza recently reflected on the missed opportunities that shaped Gervonta Davis's career, particularly the major fights fans hoped to see but that never came together. He revealed that Davis was once very close to fighting Vasily Lomachenko, though the matchup ultimately fell apart after Lomachenko stepped away from negotiations. Espinoza also discussed talks involving Shakur Stevenson, explaining that Stevenson was interested in securing a multi-fight agreement rather than agreeing to a one-fight deal against Tank. According to Espinoza, differences in negotiations, promotional issues, and disagreements over financial and contract structures were key reasons why these highly anticipated boxing matchups were delayed or never finalized.
The public, can you understand why the public is just like, bruh, fight somebody else, fight somebody quote-unquote better, just from the public standpoint. Can you understand that?
Yeah, I certainly get it. You know, and people have a short memory. They tend to forget that, you know, he was very close to fighting Lomachenko, and then Lomachenko pulled out. And there were discussions with Shakur. Shakur wanted a multi-fight deal. He didn't want to do sort of a one-fight deal to fight Tank. So, you know, that doesn't happen. Now, we could revisit Shakur in the future.
What do you think about the whole Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis situation and why the fight still hasn't happened? Drop your opinion in the comments, white down pointing backhand index.